where she sat on the ground after falling, Laine noticed Cuchulain trying to pry himself between the crevices in the rock wall. They were making their way out of the forest into a more open space beyond the rock wall. Standing there, it was like he had separated two worlds, her life back in Montana and this new one she was building with her creativity. No one can be an underdog forever. Someday the tide has to turn, she thought. And he was the one who had led her down this new path. He showed her the way by not being very nice to her. Women leave silently and then move mountains. That is the power of forgiveness. Tornare alla ribalta. That was make a comeback in Italian. He was standing there, looking at her, waiting for her to respond. "You used to live at the sea home, didn't you?" she asked, still on the ground where she'd fallen. He stepped back from the rock wall. Light was shining through it. She remembered a clip of a bear cub that climbed up a steep precipice and was knocked down once he reached the top. "I mean, in real life," she said. She remembered the 17-year-old Max from when they were both in high school. They had both worked in different sections of R&B Ranch. "What other life is there?" he asked. There were lots of lives she could live. There was nothing she couldn't do, be, or have. It all was about the power of the mind. And why do you want to help me anyway? I mean, the real reason. What Laine was doing was trying to pick up the pieces of Cuchulain's past. To forgive him, she had first to understand him, which meant getting to know his past, even if she didn't know it. She could only imagine it. She read that a person's compassion should grow to encircle those whose experiences she had not lived through. Yes, that was it. When Laine and Max were teenagers, they both worked at different sections of R&B Ranch. That's how it went. Laine and Max met for the first time when she took some trays over to the lobby. She never saw him after that. Now she knew the reason. He must have got kicked out of his house and put in the foster care system and was forced to leave his summer job. Or had she invented this reality for him? Either way, she took the trays back to the lobby, driving the diesel-smelling golf carts that would always remind her of summer jobs. She remembered him now, his hunched shoulders, the way he stared at the ground. What was he looking for? Pokemon? She passed him as she walked up the steps. "Hey, I know you," he said. "You go to school in the valley, right?" "Yeah," Laine said. There was a lot going on that summer. Times were hard for Mom. Grandma died and she lost her teaching job. And then Ashley moved in with them. Mom started working nights at the C home. She remembered the conversation she had with Mom. She'd been half asleep in bed. Mom came in after her shift. "Are you awake? It's been a hell of a night. Some of the kids snuck out and I had to file a report. Such a hassle," Mom said. It had been 7 a.m. because that's the time Mom got off the night shift. "There's this new kid, Max. He has abnormally big earlobes. Says he might know you." "Those are called gauges, Mom," Laine said, rolling over in bed. "Oh, a little full of himself, I thought," Mom said. That's how it was. Laine had completely forgotten that Mom had mentioned Max used to live at the home. She wasn't supposed to discuss the children, but everyone knew. It was like having a big letter on your forehead. In that way, she tried to think of him as Cuchulain Max, separate versions of one person. One who she had romantic feelings for, and another that she looked over like a big sister. She actually felt kind of bad for him. She hadn't understood the dynamics before. In real life, he was only 3 years younger than her, but in this warped reality, he was 17 and she was almost 28. "Mi raccomando, non dire bugie," she told him. It was advice about not telling lies.
Vorrei poter riuscire a prendere quel cuore, a farlo emozionare, lasciarlo poi parlare. Eppur non lo so dire, non trovo le parole che scrivano i ricordi e le paure.
In the 1883 Italian book, The Adventures of Pinocchio, the fairy with the turquoise hair, La Fata dai Capelli Turchini, appeared to Pinocchio. She told him his lies were causing his nose to grow. She gathered a group of woodpeckers to shorten his nose forgave him, and told him he could think of her as his elder sister. They continued walking through the trees behind where Bowman Road was supposed to be. Laine considered the question, why did she want to help him? It made her wonder, why had she taken the job as the youth counselor in the first place? Sometimes Laine felt like she didn't understand her own mess to be able to help someone through theirs. But then she thought she could help while still going through her own process.